Tonight on WTOP-10 Nightly News, the Artemis 2 mission has new images of the moon like we've never seen them before.
And the main suspect in the Go-Go Beach serial killer case confesses.
Plus, the latest of the ceasefire in Iran.
WTOP-10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Jason Rude.
And I'm Jenna Van Tom.
It is day 39 of the conflict with the Middle East. The U.S., Israel, and Iran have agreed to a ceasefire. But the fate of the ceasefire seems to be in danger following the Israel bombing campaign in Lebanon. Iran stopped the passage of oil tankers because of the Israeli ceasefire breach. The Israel attack on Lebanon has been Israel's heaviest attack of the war so far, killing at least 250 people.
The ceasefire has brought confusion to everyone involved, not being able to agree on what it means. In a post on Truth Social, President Trump said he agreed to the provisional ceasefire. This comes after the president threatened to, quote, take Iran out in one night. As the threat leads to backlash, Vice President J.D. Vance makes it clear the ceasefire is a conditional agreement based on how Iran reacts.
But the president's very, very clear. The deal is a ceasefire, a negotiation. That's what we give. And what they give is the straits are going to be reopened. If we don't see that happening, the president is not going to abide by our terms if the Iranians are not abiding by their terms.
Oil prices dropped today following the announcement of the ceasefire. But even if the peace continues, gas prices at the pump may take a while to come down.
According to experts, Iran keeping the Strait of Hormuz open does not guarantee cheaper gas in a timely fashion, particularly with the Iranian stoppage of tankers in reaction to Israel's bombing of Lebanon.
It'll be weeks and months to get the production back online. And given that about 3 million barrels a day of refining capacity has been damaged, that can take months to years to be repaired.
We will soon see the effects of the elevated gas prices as the federal government releases inflation and consumer price data for the month of March this Friday.
NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte met with President Donald Trump today as tensions rise over the Iran conflict and the future of NATO. The president has criticized the alliance after members declined to help reopen the Strait of Hormuz, sending gas prices higher. Trump, who has been a longtime critic of NATO, is expected to press allies on burden sharing and support, while officials say today's closed-door meeting should share the future of decades-old alliance.
Continuing in the coverage of the Trump administration, the Justice Department says that the recently ousted Pam Bondi won't testify in the Jeffrey Epstein probe since she no longer is serving as Attorney General. Bondi was scheduled to appear for deposition on April 14th to discuss with the House Oversight Committee of her handling of the Epstein files. The DOJ says that since she is subpoenaed as Attorney General, that subpoena no longer applies.
Grand jury indicted two men, including 18-year-old Irma Blatt and 19-year-old Ibrahim Kayomi, are accused of attempting a bomb to a protest near New York City Mayor's house, Zohran Mamdani. Authorities say they found a notebook detailing plans with a list of steps to detonate a bomb. According to the indictment, dashcam video was found in the vehicle they allegedly used to travel from Pennsylvania to New York that day.
Today, Rex Heuermann pleaded guilty of all 7 of the Go-Go Beach killings that he had been charged with and another which he hadn't been. In 2023, Heuermann was arrested in connection with the Go-Go Beach killings, which had been under investigation since 1993. During a press conference this morning, Heuermann's ex-wife made a statement for the families of his victims.
My thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families. Their loss is immeasurable, and the focus should be on them at this time and moment.
Heuermann's admission of guilt over covers 8 of the 11 bodies that have been found on the beach since 1993.
A federal judge has sentenced Javine Segma, more commonly known as the ketamine queen, has been sentenced to 15 years in prison for selling the ketamine that led to actor Matthew Perry's death. Judge Cheryl P. Scarnett said Segma played a central role in the case, calling for epic resilience as she handed down the sentence. Perry, best known for his role as Chandler Ring in Friends, was found dead at his home at age 54. Family members told the court they continue to feel a daily grinding sadness over his loss.
New images of the moon released yesterday from NASA's Artemis II mission are offering a stunning new perspective on Earth's closest neighbor. The high-resolution photos reveal detailed surface textures and shadowed craters. Officials say that the images will help scientists better understand lunar geology as preparations continue for the future crewed landings after this decade. From moon missions to morning commutes, your weather is ready to lift off.
Let's take a look at the weather with tonight's Storm Team 10 meteorologist Eric Drayton.
Thanks, guys. As you can see behind me, it looks pretty calm on the radar, though you see a few flashes of green, which is just some rain that, as you see, moved over the lake and just continued moving. And look in the sky. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's something hundreds and thousands of miles away. The 4 astronauts of Artemis II are probably feeling just a little bit warmer than us down here on Earth. In the weeks to come, we'll have a 100% chance of sun finally making an appearance after days of overcast, 6 days of possible rain, and that's not an alien language that was undiscovered. That's the temperature possibly going up to 68 degrees in the middle of the week. And I'll get more into that in my full forecast, but for now, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Eric. Now in entertainment news. The Academy Awards are looking well into the future, locking in dates for its biggest night in cinema. The 99th and 100th Oscars have officially been scheduled for March 14th, 2027 and March 5th, 2028. These milestone ceremonies represent the end of an era for the traditional broadcast, as they will be the final 2 shows to air on ABC before moving to streaming on YouTube.
Blake Lively's legal team is raising questions ahead of the next month's trial involving actor Justin Baldoni. In a letter to the judge, attorneys for Lively asked whether Baldoni plans to testify in person or provide testimony through a deposition instead. The development comes after a judge dismissed 10 of Lively's legal claims earlier this month. The upcoming trial will now center on allegations of breach of contract, retaliation, and aiding and abetting retaliation.
Saturday Night Live is gearing up for a star-studded end to its 51st season finale. Olivia Rodrigo is set to pull double duty on May 2nd, making her hosting debut while also performing as musical guest. Star of the upcoming film Odyssey, Matt Damon returns to Studio 8 stage to host for his 3rd time on May 9th. Finally, SNL alumni Will Ferrell will close out the season on May 16th and will be joined by Sir Paul McCartney, returning for his 5th appearance as musical guest.
Paramount is losing a top executive as it navigates a high-stakes legal fight and massive media merger. The company says a longtime president, Jeff Shell, is stepping down, choosing to focus on ongoing litigation tied to a lawsuit accusing him of fraud and securities violations. The shakeup comes as Paramount pushes forward with its proposed $81 billion acquisition of Warner Bros. Paramount says its board reviewed the claims and found no wrongdoings.
Well, Tiger Woods is facing charges of driving under the influence after a crash last month. Florida prosecutors filed for a subpoena on Tuesday in Martin County Court regarding Woods' medical records of any medications he was prescribed from the beginning of this year until March 27th. The informed subpoena will be filed on April 22nd. The filing gives Woods 10 days to object the subpoena. Woods has pleaded not guilty to 1 DUI count and 1 count of refusing a urine analysis test. This is Woods' 4th incident involving an automobile since 2009. Time for entertainment news. Here is David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
Hello, how can I help you? Yes, the Lego Smart Play system is available in Lego Star Wars sets.
Lego with Luke. Mark Hamill is Lego's new Junior Executive Director of Information, or JEDI, sharing tips on its new Star Wars Smart Play line. On Wednesday, he'll chat with a few fortunate callers live about the new sets.
Answer your questions, I will.
It's unscripted. It's Unleashed.
A late night laughs update. Comics Unleashed with Byron Allen is set to move up an hour, taking CBS's 11:35 slot after Late Night with Stephen Colbert signs off May 21st. Allen's comedy game show Funny You Should Ask will fill the 12:35 slot where Comics Unleashed had been playing.
We were on the plane. We were. And now we're trying to find out exactly where we are.
What nonsense.
Who's coming with me?
Here's your first look at Lord of the Flies, based on William Golding's iconic novel about British schoolboys stranded on a deserted island. The 4-part limited series from the award-winning writer of Adolescence debuts May 4th on Netflix. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Still ahead tonight, SUNY Oswego's event for Sexual Assault Awareness Month with reporter Elena Thomas.
Plus, we head over to Eric Drayton with our full weather forecast.
$50. You better watch out. It's gonna swat you like a bug. You stole it?
Good evening and welcome back. I'm your WTOP-10 Storm Team 10 meteorologist, Eric Drayton. Right now in Oswego, it is 45 degrees, a dew point of 19. Humidity rose just a little to 35. The pressure is high at 1018, and the wind's coming from southeast at 3 miles per hour. Well, I think that maybe Mother Nature isn't to blame for all the weird weather. Maybe it's some sort of villain that we just haven't seen yet. And if you want to know tomorrow's weather, well, just tune into WTOP-10. Tomorrow it's going to be mostly sunny, and as you wake up, it's going to be 38 degrees. And as you go into the afternoon at 1 p.m., those gusts are going to switch around to southwest and come at 29 miles per hour. And then as we move later into the evening, it'll be raising all the way up to 59 by 6 p.m., right back to partly sunny. Mostly sunny, sorry. Taking a look at the 6 to 10 temperature day outlook, you see that our temperatures are higher than above normal, and as you go into the more northern parts closer to Canada, it's below. But we do see those temperatures starting to increase despite the fact that we just had snow here in Oswego less than 48 hours ago. Right now, it's 42 in Fulton and 32 up in Watertown. Taking a look at the futurecast, we see that there's a little bit of rain north of us, but relatively, again, it's going to be mostly sunny, so we don't see any clouds. That rain's going to move into Thursday at 7 p.m., and it's going to be pretty light. It's going to move out afterward, bring some clouds behind it, and right behind it for Friday morning is another round of rain. And you see behind me that there's snow and ice up there in Canada, so those warmer temperatures are really saving us, because you see right now it's 48 degrees. Moving on further into the week, into Friday evening, we see that that rain has cleared far out of here, and it's 39, and we just see those temperatures remain high, even though they've been low, then high, bringing rounds of clouds as we go through the day. It's going to be 60 tomorrow, 51 on Friday, with a chance of AM showers before 8 a.m. Mostly sunny Saturday, and Sunday it's going to be 59, so you see that we're still staying high. Monday we're popping up all the way to 68, and Tuesday 68 again, although those lows do dip down just a little below 10 degrees, a little over, so it's not too bad no matter what. And Wednesday, we're going to end this off with just a chance of showers right now, 50 degrees. It's nothing too bad, so we do see that spring is finally making a comeback. That's all for my full forecast. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Eric. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, a time dedicated to supporting survivors and raising awareness.
One campus organization is taking that mission a step further with a full week of events. WTOP-10 reporter Elena Thomas has more.
Thanks, guys. April marks Sexual Assault Awareness Month, a time to uplift survivors, educate communities, and advocate for change. On campus, an organization called 2.5 is leading that effort. The group focuses on supporting victims of sexual assault, especially those who may not feel safe or able to speak out for themselves. To bring awareness to this issue, the organization is hosting what they call 2 Week, a series of events designed to educate, empower, and engage students. The week kicks off on April 12th with an opening brunch, creating a safe and welcoming space for conversation. It all leads up to the final event on April 17th, Raise Your Voice, a showcase centered around storytelling, expression, and survivor empowerment. In between those major events, smaller programs throughout the week will focus on topics like education, prevention, and support resources.
2 Week is our annual week where we try to create a safe space for victims and those who want to support victims. For example, we have a storytellers event on Thursday, which gives people the opportunity to tell their story of what they experienced and, in other ways, how they like to be part of 2.5.
Organizers say Sexual Assault Awareness Month is about more than just awareness. It's about action.
The month itself is incredibly important because it's not only awareness, but we're also trying to prevent sexual assaults from happening in the future.
For students, events like these provide not only education, but a reminder that support systems exist right here on campus. I'm Elena Thomas, back to the desk.
The name 2.5 comes from a powerful statistic. Every 2.5 minutes, someone in the United States experiences sexual assault.
Chatbots have been used a lot in the medical industry to help patients based on what they're experiencing. While they are used to help find issues in patients, they also pick apart financial paperwork. Not only are they being used by the medical industry, but patients as well. Patients are using chatbots to figure out challenging hospital charges, to find any failures or unfair charges in their medical bills.
A Scriber man has been arrested on charges of sexually abusing a child. Kevin C. Hoyt is being charged with 3 felonies following an investigation that led to a search warrant being executed at his home. Authorities found images depicting child abuse on his electronic devices. Following the arrest, Hoyt was transported to Oswego County Jail, where he is being held on bail.
The Zonta Club of Oswego is going to be hosting a 70s-themed dance party to raise awareness for domestic violence. The club is encouraging residents who attend the event to dress like Three's Company character Helen Roper and embrace the 70s. Zonta is an international organization that is dedicated to making the world a better place for women through service and advocacy. The dance party will be on April 17th from 7 to 10 p.m. at Oswego Elks Lodge.
SUNY Oswego's theater department is all ready for their production of All Shook Up to open next week. The 2005 musical follows a young man who inspires a Midwest town to cut loose and have some fun, and showcases some of Elvis Presley's biggest hits. The show features over 20 musical numbers that the students have been working on and learning for weeks. All Shook Up opens next Thursday, April 16th at 7:30 p.m. and tickets can be reserved online.
Well, Jenna, it seems like Oswego weather is getting warmer and the sun is starting to shine.
Yes, it is, Jason. We will swing into softball as sports reporter Ashlyn Fennick has the details.
Thanks, guys. Spring sports are hitting the middle of the season and softball is in full swing for the Lakers. We will take a deep dive into the field to see what our softball team has been up to.
Softball here at Oswego is cracking at the bats as the Lakers are dominating the field with an undefeated record. The Lakers are standing strong as they are third in the SUNYAC. While they are currently undefeated, the most difficult part of the season has been the weather conditions. Head coach Grace Van Horn gives us insight about how she is bouncing back stronger this season, as this is her second year as head coach.
I think a huge part of it is that it's my second year as head coach, so we came in a little bit more prepared. We've added some players who have brought depth to our roster, but also we've gained experience for the returners. So I think altogether we're gelling better, our culture's growing, and I think that our team's off to a really good start.
With consistent hard work from the whole team, the Lakers will continue to be successful throughout their season. With any mistake that is made on the field, the women are so supportive of each other, and that is one of the keys to their success.
After a tough mistake, we like to regroup, recollect ourselves, let each other know we got each other's backs, give yourself 5 seconds, and then forget it.
With the 6-0 record, the women will continue to be on their A-game to make their way to SUNYACs. You can see your Lakers at our home field in a doubleheader at 3 and 5 p.m. tomorrow against Alfred State. In Oswego, I'm Ashlyn Fennick, reporting for WTOP-10.
Still next in sports, you will see people rising on the field, skating on the ice, and seeing where everyone stands in the race to the Stanley Cup playoffs. Fiona Sierens will give you all of that details after the break.
Someone who could tell us what we should and shouldn't watch.
Well, do we have a show for you?
Who are you?
What are you doing in my bed?
On Be Kind and Rewind, we will go through and review all your favorite movie franchises and tell you which ones you should and shouldn't watch from the perspective of normal movie fans. Well, be sure to check out Be Kind and Rewind on WTOP-10.
Go home, that's 3 hours from now.
Maybe that's the best thing you can do.
But after he gets possessed,
his show becomes a smash hit.
Now he's got the greenest show on WTOP-10.
A lot of green going on tonight.
We'll be holding on forever.
Don't miss the limited run of
these great people being.
If you like action, romance,
if you're watching this,
and highbrow humor,
surface is this? Floor. Minch did not legitimately put his head in the toilet.
There's only one place to turn.
No!
Tune in to new episodes of
Oh Boy!
Only on WTOP.
Just a couple of hours ago, the Oswego women's lacrosse team took on the Buffalo State Bengals on our home turf. The Lakers demolished the Bengals with a final score of 17-4. This was the first time these two teams matched up this year, and even in the past 2 years, the Bengals didn't come close to defeating the Lakers. Tonight, there were some notable players such as Cassidy Crock, who with 5 goals, and being unassisted, and as well as Alexis Hill, with all four of her goals being unassisted. She continues to ride the high of being the student athlete of the month from March. If you're eager to catch the women's lacrosse team compete in their next game just a few days away, Plattsburgh on April 11th at noon. It has been an exciting day for Laker lacrosse today, as the men's team also recently finished up their game at Cortland. Unfortunately, they cannot celebrate their win tonight as the Red Dragons defeated the Lakers 23-6. Leading goal scorers for the Lakers tonight was junior midfield Garrett Elton with 2 goals. Meanwhile, the Cortland leading goal scorers were Stefan Swedlund with 4 goals, Sean Kvag with 3 goals, and Nick Stecker with 3 goals. The Lakers have a chance to bounce back April 11th at home against SUNY Cortland Roos. Taking a look at what happened in Buffalo today, the Syracuse Mets and Buffalo Bisons met at Salem Field for a doubleheader. After being postponed by the snow from yesterday, Syracuse had a handful of base runners. However, they could not secure any points on the scoreboard in the opener. The Bisons had 2 points, ending up with the score of 2-1 for the first game. In the second game, the Bisons quickly got a lead, 2-1. Syracuse tied the game in the 3rd inning. However, a wild pitch put the Mets ahead 3-2. It was a back-and-forth game, but the Bison swept the Mets today and finished the game with a score of 4-3. The NHL Eastern Conference Atlantic Division has 3 teams with secured spots in the playoffs. Those are the Tampa Bay Lightning, Buffalo Sabres, and Montreal Canadiens. However, there's tight competition in the Metropolitan Division. Teams are racing to hold a spot in the playoffs. Taking a look at the Washington Capitals, for example, this time last year, they found themselves in an outstanding position as they were on their way to finishing with the best record in the Eastern Conference. However, this year, that is not the case. The Capitals found themselves in a must-win position where they're 5 points behind the Ottawa Senators for the second wildcard spot and 2 regulation wins behind. In addition to that, they are also 5 points behind the Philadelphia Flyers for the 3rd seed in the Metro Division. The Columbus Blue Jackets are increasing their odds in securing a spot for the playoffs, especially after their win in the road against the Detroit Red Wings. The Wings have not yet claimed a spot and are on their way to missing their chance. For both teams, every game is extremely important, so their recent match was back and forth with some beautiful goals. Let's take a look. The Wings scrambled the puck behind the net with an incomplete low cycle, causes a turnover for it to be pushed right out in front for Mark Ment to tap in and scoring the first for the Blue Jackets. The Wings score their first on a power play. They have great outside movement. Puck gets to Patrick Kane from D. He moves it down to Larkin, who scores on a low shot to tie up the game. Here, Larkin moves it cross ice to Falk, who takes off and skates entirely through the defenseman and shoots it over the goalie's pad, making it 2-1. The Blue Jackets score their next one on a power play. Werenski snipes the puck from top shelf from the blue line to tie up the game. And with a quick one-timer off of the face-off, Falka also scores second for the Wings, and the Blue Jackets respond again with another quick one-timer off of a face-off. A goal for Fantilli, tying the game once more. With a tie game, both teams go into a shootout. The Blue Jackets player Werenski, whose native Detroit era, snipes the puck top left corner, winning the game for his team.
Thank you, Fiona. Today is National Zoo Lovers Day.
If you want to enjoy a day at the zoo, Saturday is a sunny day.
It would surely be a fun way to start active and learn something new.
Definitely. The zoo always gives us new information and gives a sense of adventure to see what you usually don't see around you. So, what's your guys' favorite zoo animals?
Definitely got to be a monkey. That's my spirit animal.
I think mine, it's a little obscure, but I like the capybaras a lot. I really want to see one in person.
I'm a big penguin guy. I like penguins.
I'm going to have to agree with you. Mine has to be the penguin.
Nice.
Well, definitely hoping that the weather stays very well for the next couple of days for Zoo Lovers Day.
Oh, of course. I mean, all I saw in the forecast was no snow, decent temperatures. They dropped down a little, but at the end of the day, it's really just some clouds rolling by, so there's not much to worry about. So if you want to go to the zoo, you have some good days to look forward to.
So that's exciting. Fiona, do you have any updates in sports or anything going on?
Yes, this weekend we have baseball, softball, and lacrosse games to look out to.
That's exciting. I definitely am probably going to be at all those games. I love Oswego sports and I love to cheer on our Lakers. Any last minute thoughts from you guys?
Speaking of sports and speaking of the Stanley Cup, the Buffalo Sabres finally break their 15-year drought and are finally making their way to the playoffs. Definitely feeling excited about that if you're a fan of the Sabres.
I mean, I myself am a fan of the New York Islanders. I'm hoping that we can clinch a playoff spot, hoping and praying on that. Just praying on my New York Islanders to clutch it and get a playoff spot for us.
That is our report for tonight.
Be sure to stay tuned for Oh Boy.
Thank you for watching.
And have a great night, everyone.